Athens responds after a video of an arrest on Court Street goes viral. An update on the 4 escapees of an Ohio prison. And in sports, Ohio volleyball played in a thriller this weekend. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Ben Schwartz. Thanks for joining us. The city of Athens is responding after a video showing Athens police officers using force to detain a man on Court Street went viral over the weekend. The short video taken early Sunday morning shows Ty Patrick Beeler, a 21-year-old African-American man from Columbus, on the ground with 3 APD officers restraining him. Beeler allegedly got into an altercation with a bouncer at the J Bar in Uptown Athens. According to police, he then resisted arrest, leading to the incident shown on video. In a press conference earlier today, Athens Police Chief Tom Pyle responded to the video, voicing his support of the officers involved.
So the only thing I could say is that I've watched the video and there was active resistance and that I feel the use of force by the officers was reasonable and restrained, quite frankly. Right. We know what happened on that video and we can watch it and know before we even watch it what happened. But the officers and the people involved in that video do not have that perspective and do not have the advantage of hindsight. They don't know how that video ends.
Beeler was arrested for obstructing official business, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct. According to Chief Pyle, more footage will become available as the investigation moves forward. A Southern Ohio man is dead and another injured after a gas station robbery over the weekend. According to Adams County Sheriff Kimmy Rogers, officers responded to a robbery in the village of Seaman Friday morning. A county deputy and the Ohio State Highway Patrol attempted to stop the robber before engaging in a car chase. Authorities say the suspect's vehicle eventually swerved across the road and stopped. The suspect was then found dead in their vehicle of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. No names have been released as of yet. A Vinton County man is in custody after breaking into a house Sunday and being found unresponsive inside. WSAZ reports 35-year-old Jacob Keese of MacArthur entered the home through a window before being found unresponsive in a bed by the homeowner. Vinton County EMS gave Keese Narcan, but he remained unresponsive and was taken to a nearby hospital. He is now in police custody for possession of suspected methamphetamine, needles, and other drug paraphernalia. 4 escaped inmates are back behind bars today, one day after escaping from an Ohio jail. Nadia Romero explains why a sheriff and neighbors say there's a risk for more escapes in the future.
Early Monday morning, authorities say they captured 3 escaped inmates in a car outside of a hotel in Cary, North Carolina, making the trek from Ohio after authorities say they overpowered 2 guards with a shank Sunday.
3 of the fugitives were inside the car and they were taken into custody without incident.
Authorities say one of them, Lawrence Lee, was able to get away on foot. He was later captured in Durham, North Carolina. The local Ohio sheriff says there is ongoing cause for concern there.
We do not have the ability to lock our inmates in cells like a conventional jail would. The doors of our cells are permanently opened and were done so back in the 80s or 90s to set up a dorm-type facility to allow for housing of more population.
The sheriff said it's escape number 2 for Bryn Martin, one of the recently recaptured inmates. And with the recent incidents at the jail, those who live nearby fear for their safety.
They're not taking the appropriate measures to keep care of these people.
It's not safe for our community. It's not safe for our children. Something needs to change.
I'm Nadia Romero reporting.
The inmates were being held on charges that ranged from drug trafficking to identity fraud and breaking and entering.
Hello, I'm forecaster Adelaide Carwish here, and today was a hot one. You would have thought it was the dog days of summer, not the end of September. Right now it's a nice 90 degrees outside, still hot as could be right now. Moving forward now, it's been a relatively hot day, 90 degrees outside, winds to the northwest at 0 to 5 miles per hour. You see all around the area just hot. Chillicothe at 92, at Jackson at 92 as well, New Lexington at 89. It's just been so hot outside today. And then tonight will be 66 degrees, possible rain. Warm night though. It's Either way, it's going to be a really hot week moving forward, Ben, and it's going to be really hot, really going forward, and this is just going to be one of those hot weeks, and it won't be till probably either Thursday or Friday that we actually start to cool down.
Yeah, that is weird to see this late in the year, but not too bad, I guess. Thank you, Adelaide. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is ordering tests to find out whether potentially harmful chemicals are in the state's drinking water. DeWine said on Friday that the state's health and environmental protection agencies will be analyzing the state's water to look at man-made chemicals known as PFAs. His goal is to have a plan in place by December to test public and private water systems near PFA sources. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development is awarding $45 million to the state of Ohio to identify and eliminate lead paint in homes. The grant money will be spent in a number of areas around the state, including Columbus and Cleveland. The Ohio Department of Health tested 168 children last year and found that over 2% had elevated blood lead levels. Around 1 million Ohioans, mostly in Appalachia, lack access to high-speed internet service, according to a new report from Governor DeWine's administration. The report mentions that the state's highway corridors may hold the key to addressing the problem. Some highways could be leveraged to expand broadband connectivity as the state works to develop smart transportation corridors, which would require high-speed internet access. Governor DeWine is inviting local governments to apply for grants to upgrade their emergency call centers. DeWine says the funding available through the Ohio Department of Commerce will help expand the state's 911 capabilities to keep pace with changing technology. The grants will cover up to 60% of costs of upgrading to NG or Next Generation 911. NG 911 will allow police and fire departments to receive text messages and eventually photos and videos as opposed to just phone calls. Hunting season for white-tailed deer in Ohio is underway. Hunting hours last from 30 minutes before sunrise to 30 minutes past sunset. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources wants to remind hunters that only one antlerless deer may be taken from Ohio's public hunting areas per license year. A list of public hunting areas can be found at wildohio.gov. A new California law could make it easier to pay student athletes. And the whistleblower at the center of the Ukrainian controversy may soon testify. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
Got potential for a major incident.
The California fire nightmare.
I don't want to die here.
An entire community gone.
Scientists scramble to unlock the mysteries of wildfires.
We don't know how that wind interacts with pushing the fire front.
This new normal that we've created by our own actions.
Inside the megafire.
I don't know if I'll ever recover.
On Nova.
Spain, 1977. The Pact of Forgetting decrees a state-imposed amnesia of Franco-era crimes.
Las personas no olvidan tan fácilmente, aun queriendo.
A country still divided over its fascist history learns that you can't force people to forget. The silence of others on POV.
He was embraced as a reformer.
He sold himself, he sold his vision.
People were mesmerized.
But there was another side.
There were dissidents who were tortured.
Princes and big business people put under constant observation.
He seemed to get more committed to going after his enemies the more powerful he became.
And then a brutal murder.
Did the regime kill Jamal Khashoggi?
Frontline investigates.
Even the president said this is the worst cover-up I've ever seen.
This is the closest we'll get to an alien on Earth. Octopuses couldn't be more different from us, but is a connection possible?
You look at them and you feel like they're looking back. That's not an illusion. They are looking back.
One man will find out. He'll bring an octopus into his home and introduce her to the family.
Well, now she's filming me.
Hi, Heidi.
The United States may be on the path to its third presidential impeachment. There's a tentative agreement for a whistleblower to testify before the House Intelligence Committee about President Trump's controversial call with the Ukrainian president. John Lawrence reports.
President Trump sounding off Sunday night, tweeting he wants to meet the whistleblower who represented a perfect conversation with a foreign leader in a totally inaccurate and fraudulent way.
What's going on now is the single greatest scam in the history of American politics.
Democrats disagree, saying the president took advantage of his power to solicit interference from Ukraine in the 2020 election.
This is serious evidence of wrongdoing. The president has betrayed his oath of office.
A rough transcript from the White House shows President Trump repeatedly urged Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to look into Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden and his son Hunter.
The president did nothing in this phone call that's impeachable.
Trump denies any wrongdoing, and critics of the coming impeachment inquiry say this is a bit like deja vu all over again, following special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. Democrats leading the probe disagree.
After the last 2 years that we've been through, the president well understood that it was illegal to seek foreign assistance in a campaign. And immediately after Mueller testified, that is exactly what he was back at doing again.
And the White House will soon find out if that is impeachable conduct. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
It's unclear when the whistleblower will testify. The Intel Community's Inspector General who handled the complaint against President Trump is scheduled for a closed-door testimony Friday. President Trump says he deserves to meet the anonymous whistleblower. The whistleblower's lawyer, Andrew Bakak, responded, tweeting that his client is entitled to anonymity. He went on to say that any retaliation against the individual is a violation of federal law. House Democrats launched an impeachment inquiry against Trump last week. Congress is in recess, but House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said hearings could come as soon as this week. College athletes in California may soon be getting paid. Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law that would give student athletes the ability to benefit financially from their name, image, and likeness. The Fair Pay to Play Act takes effect January 1st of 2023. Currently, the NCAA bans student athletes from making any money while playing college sports. That while colleges and universities can make millions while promoting their athletes. The NCAA hasn't commented on the act yet. Coming up, we'll take a look at new ways researchers are working to treat autism. That story's still ahead.
And coming up next on Newswatch, it's going to be a very hot week with record temps, and I'll show you why and how later. But here's your stats of local interest.
Spain, 1977. The Pact of Forgetting decrees a state-imposed amnesia of Franco-era crimes.
Las personas no olvidan tan fácilmente, aun queriendo.
A country still divided over its fascist history learns that you can't force people to forget. The silence of others on POV.
He was embraced as a reformer.
He sold himself, he sold his vision.
People were mesmerized.
But there was another side.
There were dissidents who were tortured.
Princes and big business people put under constant observation.
He seemed to get more committed to going after his enemies the more powerful he became.
And then a brutal murder.
Did the regime kill Jamal Khashoggi?
Frontline investigates.
Even the president said this is the worst cover-up I've ever seen.
The California fire nightmare.
I don't want to die here.
An entire community gone.
Scientists scramble to unlock the mysteries of wildfires.
We don't know how that wind interacts with pushing the fire front.
This new normal that we've created by our own actions.
Inside the megafire.
I don't know if I'll ever recover.
On Nova.
On Secrets of the Dead, a discovery that made news around the world.
Wow, so you're talking grand gallery size.
Cutting-edge technology lets us peer inside the Great Pyramid for the first time in 4,000 years. Scientists used infrared thermography and cosmic particle analysis and found unknown chambers inside the ancient wonder. Scanning the pyramids on Secrets of the Dead.
Welcome back, WOUB. I'm forecaster Adlai Carwish here, and right now it's 90 degrees outside. Sunny as it be, almost not a cloud in the sky. Pressure at 30.06, which is a little high. Humidity at 39%. Winds to the northwest at 0 to 5 miles per hour. Taking a look all the way southeastern Ohio, Columbus at 91, Chillicothe at 92, Jackson at 92 as well, and Ripley at 93. So all around very hot. In fact, it's record temps. You see the U.S. map here, and you can see this jet stream is what's causing this heat. It's all the way up there, and it comes back down over there. And what happens is that it's creating all this hot air from the tropics down here, and it's moving it up to areas in Athens, like Athens, all through the Midwest and upper South. And it's been a record day so far, with the highs in 91, and guess what? That's the record. The record is 91. We had a record day today. Normal's usually 70 degrees, so that's 21 degrees difference. You can see here the low was 66. Normal's usually 47. I wouldn't even say bring your jacket out today, even though today, and the record's 31 degrees, and I'd rather have 91 than 31, to be honest. But tonight, 66 degrees, possible rain. It's going to be a warm night. Don't even worry about bringing a jacket unless it possibly might rain, so bring an umbrella just in case. It'd be a pop-up shower, if any rain. Tonight all around the area, 67 at Chillicothe, 67 in Columbus, 66 in New Lexington. So all around in the 60s, upper 60s for the area. Moving forward tomorrow, 92 degrees, and it's another record day. It's just been record after record. We're breaking this week. Record heat. Pop-up shower is possible every now and then. Winds to the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, 92 degrees. Moving forward tomorrow, all around. Jackson at 92, Chillicothe at 92, Columbus at 91. And you're going to see here this warm front that just moved here for tomorrow. That's going to be all the way over there. And there's really no jet stream, so there's no fronts pushing anything. So we're just going to have some clear weather and hot weather for the next couple of days. You see really no change. You see the high pressure all the way down there by North Carolina, South Carolina, and the border there. And here's to take a look at your 7-day outlook here. And it's going to be 92 on Tuesday, Wednesday's 93, and it's going to be just hot, hot, hot. And then finally, on Friday, it's going to be finally 67, and it's finally going to be an actual normal temperature for this type of year. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're in the dog days of summer, and now you finally get to start going back into that weather on normal weather on Friday.
Yeah, well, if it's going to happen, I guess it's better for the weekends. But yeah, thank you, Adelaide. Scientists in New York are trying to figure out if cannabis can help children with autism. Researchers believe a non-psychoactive cannabis extract could possibly help with autism symptoms. Scientists are encouraged by the success the compound has had in reducing epileptic seizures. Researchers are currently conducting clinical trials on 100 young patients, lasting 12 weeks of treatments through June 2021. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration considers cannabis to be a Schedule I drug with no currently accepted medical use. Massachusetts business owners are taking a stand against a temporary ban on vape products. Several vape shop owners filed a lawsuit against Governor Charlie Baker, calling the move unconstitutional. Mass Dynamics, Boston Vapor, and Vicks Vape Shop want the ban lifted. They argue the Food and Drug Administration regulates vaping products. Baker announced the ban earlier this month as concern grows nationwide about the safety of vaping. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports 805 cases of lung disease and 12 deaths possibly tied to vaping. As we head into October, we approach flu season. In today's Health Minute, Meredith Wood tells us what to look out for and how to stay healthy.
It's that time of year when the sniffling, coughing, just feeling under the weather pandemic starts to hit people hard.
It's time once again to talk about the single most important thing we need to do, all of us, each year. That's right, get an annual flu vaccination.
Influenza is a respiratory illness that infects the nose, throat, and sometimes the lungs. Symptoms can be similar to a cold, but come rapidly and include fever, muscle or body aches, sore throat, and coughing. Infections can be mild to severe and, in some cases, fatal. Young children, pregnant women, those with chronic medical conditions, and people over 65 are most at risk of developing flu-related complications. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends everyone 6 months and older get vaccinated each year, and preferably by the end of October. For this flu season, a few changes have been made to the vaccine. It is being updated to better match viruses that are expected to be strong this year. Most notably, it will be formulated to attack 4 different viruses. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
And I am now joined by our WOUB Sports Director, Thomas Garvrick. Thomas, this was the first weekend in a while with no OU football at all.
Yeah, Ben, Ohio headed into the bye week on a 3-game losing streak, but coming up in sports, you're going to hear from Frank Solich on why he is still confident in his group. And then right after the break on Newswatch, the Ohio volleyball team began MAC play in the combo over the weekend. Highlights and reactions when Newswatch returns. And stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
He was embraced as a reformer.
He sold himself, he sold his vision.
People were mesmerized.
But there was another side.
There were dissidents who were tortured.
Princes and big business people put under constant observation.
He seemed to get more committed to going after his enemies the more powerful he became.
And then a brutal murder.
Did the regime kill Jamal Khashoggi?
Frontline investigates.
Even the president said this is the worst cover-up I've ever seen.
Spain, 1977. The Pact of Forgetting decrees a state-imposed amnesia of Franco-era crimes.
Las personas no olvidan tan fácilmente, aun queriendo.
A country still divided over its fascist history learns that you can't force people to forget. The silence of others on POV.
On Secrets of the Dead, a discovery that made news around the world.
Wow, so you're talking Grand Gallery size.
Cutting-edge technology lets us peer inside the Great Pyramid for the first time in 4,000 years. Scientists used infrared thermography and cosmic particle analysis and found unknown chambers inside the ancient wonder. Scanning the pyramids on Secrets of the Dead.
The California fire nightmare.
I don't want to die here.
An entire community gone.
Scientists scramble to unlock the mysteries of wildfires.
We don't know how that wind interacts with pushing the fire front.
This new normal that we've created by our own actions.
Inside the megafire.
I don't know if I'll ever recover.
On Nova.
Back, I'm Thomas Garvrick. The Ohio volleyball team took on the preseason top 2 in the MAC East, Bowling Green on Friday and then Miami on Saturday. Ohio's match with BG was a 5-set thriller straight to the 5th set. Maggie Nadoma, she continues to impress. One of her 13 spikes there ties the fifth set at 8, but ultimately it was BG getting the job done. Jacqueline Askin, perfect drop shot that falls in front of the Ohio defense. Ohio loses game 1, 3-2. Game 2 now against the Red Hawks. Tia Jemerson, she is a force to be reckoned with. One of her 11 blocks there, and then going back to the Jemerson well for the win. That's game, set, match every time. Ohio beats Miami 3-1.
Getting this win overall, winning this match, meant a great deal to our kids. Just to prove to themselves, look, we are good, and we are one of the best teams in the MAC, and we have to go out and show that. I mean, you play two great teams, they expect and they demand your best to have a chance to win. Now the challenge for us is we have to take that level of intensity with everyone we play.
Perfect time for the Ohio football team. Ohio lost their last 3 games. The first time that has happened in the Nathan Rourke era. And remember, Ohio was the preseason favorite to win the Mid-American Conference, despite the 1-3 record to start the year. That goal is still intact as Ohio heads to Buffalo this Saturday to begin MAC play.
Well, that goal is still ahead of us, you know, the conference championship, and so I really don't have to tell them anything. Although it's been a great group, you know, they have come right back and after a loss and have really worked on things and have practiced hard and been the kind of group that you want in that regard.
High school football over the weekend. Athens taking on Vinton County. The Bulldogs have won the last 11 games in this rivalry. First drive of the game for the Bulldogs, Joey Moore. He's the team's quarterback and might be their best runner as well. He takes it in 15 yards for the score, 6-0 Bulldogs. Next Bulldog drive, Moore showing off the cannon. Drops a dime to his favorite target, Nate Traynor, just short of the pylon. Bulldogs score the next play. They top the Vikings 33-28. Basketball season is upon us. Yeah, you heard me right. Practice for the Ohio women's and men's basketball teams are underway. Today, we take a look at the women's squad. Ohio coming off its best season in program history with 30 wins. The Bobcats returned 4 of its 5 starters from a team a year ago who made it to the MAC championship game in Cleveland and a deep run to the quarterfinals of the WNIT tournament. This 2019 group is ready to take the next step, win the MAC championship, and earn a berth to the NCAA tournament.
You know, I don't know that there were real high expectations for our team last year, and it was just a team that kind of built their team through November and December and played good basketball and carried that into January. So there'll be somebody else in the conference. I don't know who it'll be that'll do the same thing, and hopefully we can. Hopefully we can play good basketball and get ourselves in position to make a MAC run.
Not making the NCAA tournament last year was really upsetting for us. So I think that's just a goal for us. That and just winning the MAC.
And Ben, we already have football, soccer, and volleyball underway. Now you add both basketball teams here in a month. It's going to be a busy couple months for us in the sports department.
Very exciting time for OU athletes. Thank you, Tommy. SpaceX says it has developed the rocket ship that's going to carry people and cargo to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Elon Musk unveiled the Starship Saturday night in a live-streamed speech from the SpaceX launch facility in Texas. Musk says Starship is a reusable spacecraft capable of making interplanetary trips. The Starship and its Super Heavy booster is expected to be able to carry up to 100 people to the moon or other destinations in space or around Earth. SpaceX could test the new ship within the first few months. If all goes well, the company says people could start flying aboard the spacecraft as early as next year.
And welcome back. We're just going to take a quick look at tonight and for the rest of the week. Tonight, warm 66. The only thing I say you'd bring is maybe an umbrella if you're going out later at night. Warm night, though. It's 66 degrees. 7-day outlook here, and it is just going to be hot until Friday. Friday is really just a day of, Friday's finally the day where you finally start to get some normal weather. And Ben, I'll send it back to you.
America's top critics are raving about the new film from Ken Burns, the most ambitious, culturally resonant music documentary ever made.